Okay, so I've done the shaping of the sides and I've bolted the machine screwed the sides on. So I've just had to drill. What I did was I placed it on in the right place. Well, I drilled all the holes in the side pieces first, and then placed it on exactly where I wanted it to be. Drilled through one hole, took it off, tapped that, and then bolted that one, and then drilled the rest of them. Took it apart, re-drilled, re-tapped, and that's what I've ended up with. I actually snapped a drill bit in this end one, but I'm not too bothered, to be honest. It's the first time doing it, so I expected things like that to happen. But what I've got to do now is I need to do my adjustable mouth at the front, and I've just cut that to length. This is actually going to be the piece that holds the adjustable mouth, but I've just cut that to length. I've got to put an angle on that, and I've got to cut it to width, and then I've got to screw and tap that in the same as I've done the sides. So I'll get back to you when I've done that. Okay, so this is where I've got to so far. I've got the bottom pretty damn flat. You see my adjustable mouth, that's what I decided to do in the end. I didn't think it was going to matter too much that there's space in there, because you've got quite a lot of area around it, but it's just my material is too thin to, and I've just whacked a thing on there for now. But yeah, now I'm just making the wooden, I'm going to use walnut because that's what I've got. It's because this is pretty much prototype, so I don't want to be buying any more wood. But I've ripped a board down, and then, well, you probably can't see it, but I've just marked. Oh, you can. I've just marked out where this step is, so that they will then sit in there like so. Obviously I need to notch that out and bring it all the way up to the front, and then finish off the slope so my blade's got a bit more support, and then this will be where the pivot mechanism and the height adjustment mechanism is. That's an integrated all-in-one system I've come up with. You don't really see it ever, so maybe it's I've come up with it myself, I don't know. But yeah, so next job, I've got to notch out these. I'm going to do that over the bandsaw. I cannot be bothered changing the blade, so we're going to see what happens with that. Yeah, I should probably tidy up before I start doing videos, so I'm ready to just crack on, but I am not that organised. I only want to get them close and then chisel them the rest of the way, so that's pretty close. Just like so. And the reason for doing this in two pieces is so that you've got the grain of the two pieces of wood are countering each other, so it should level each other out. They're counteracting each. 2 seconds. Yeah, there was just a little bit of wood in the corner which didn't quite make it fit. But as you can see, that's now down up to that line pretty much. What I've got to do next, you see I've got a gap in the middle. That's simply because this is the thickness of the material I had now. I wanted to use this and not use this. I don't have much of it, so just use what I've got. I don't know if this thing's going to work, so I'm not bothered messing around milling up material to fit perfect and things. I'm just going to put I've got some brass sheet, 1/2 mil brass sheet, so I'm going to stick that in the middle. Should give a nice detail, and I'll just epoxy the two halves together. Simple. Okay, now we've just got to do the slope. I put my blade in. I put plane iron in, and took my scalpel and scratched just underneath it each side. So then I've got, you see that line, diagonal line? I've got that all the way up to the end, so I know exactly my angle I need. I'm just going to bring that, round the end just so I can see it. Okay. And there. Wouldn't recommend this for your scalpels, but a quick blitz on your polishing wheel, and these are sharp again. They're quite thick, robust blades. Alright, so I've got that mark transferred. Now I just need to transfer that mark to my pieces of wood. So it's pretty much, and same process again, just marking with the scalpel where that line intersects. Okay, so then I know it's from this mark here to this point here. So I'm going to strike that line from there to there, put a square line across, on both pieces, and they match up, so that's a good sign. I've just then flipped them around just to check the two corners match up, so then you know that your angle is going to be straight and square and parallel to each other. Okay. Alright, jigs don't need to be complicated. This is the piece of wood I used when I was cutting the 12 degree on the actual aluminium. Obviously there was the other piece on the other side, and I've just cut out the rest of it. I'm just going to use it to do my slopes on these. Quick simple jig, got things to bump into, set your fence, hearing and eye protection of course. Right, okay, and I'm just going to use the other one just to aid. So yeah, 12 degrees, or it's pretty close to 12 degrees. So yeah, there's my two pieces. now I've got that flat, pretty much. I'm going to take a bit out of the upright cut on the underneath, so this is going to slide forward a little bit. You can't feel the transition between the two. With a sharp chisel you should really, if it is not perfect, you should be able to feel the lip. But as I've got it quite almost there, you can't feel a bump. It's not where it hits the flat spot, so it should be a decent transition there. Let's see. Pretty close, I would say. You look down it looks like a pretty straight line. It's maybe not 100% flat, but I've got a little bit of work to do until it gets to needing to be flat. Okay, so I'm making the actual adjustment on my wood lathe. So yes, I'm in the metal on my wood lathe. Can be done, not that complicated. I'm just going to put a point in the end just so I can bring up my live center just to make sure it's running true.